Yo, what up everyone? In this video, I want to go over two different trades that I took, both on Tesla and Amazon. I also want to get over some market context, some trades that we took in my Discord community, along with some lessons that we could use that helped us and some lessons that didn't help us, and we could use them to prepare for trades that we want to take in the future. If you are new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you want a very good trading resource, I'm going to link my Instagram in the description below at Ameritrade. I highly recommend following this. I post daily trading recaps on here, along with very good trading tips and tricks that I guarantee you're not going to find anywhere else. Link is in the description below. You're missing out if you're not following it. But now, let's get right into the recap. Tesla is the first trade I want to go over back on Monday, October 25th. Now, I made very good money off this. It happened in a 3-4 minute period, and it was a nice winning trade, but I'm not very happy with the analysis. I'm not very happy with my execution, and there's a lot to learn from this simple setup. So I first want to get into NQ because this is going to serve as a solid foundation for this setup. I want to get into the pre-market plan. I post these every single day in the Discord of the setups I'm watching, market context, and the levels of interest I'm looking to play at. So here's NQ, QQQ. We were in a very tight balancing range, so we have to go over the balancing rules that I go over. Balance high was at supply at 154.2735, and the bottom of the balance will be at demand at 5334 and 15302. I'm watching for a breakout out of balance for continuation to the up or downside, or watching for a failed breakout out of balance for a possible reversal. So here's the NQ chart, and here's the Tesla chart. So let's actually get into NQ first. So if we were to pull up the first 5 minutes of this thing, here we have the top of the balance, which is at supply, and here we have the bottom of the balance, which is at demand. Now, perfect if you trade NQ, QQQ, which I'm going to show you some of the trades that members took in a bit. This provided a beautiful short opportunity. This also provided a beautiful long opportunity where we got both the bottom and the top from the supply and demand imbalances. Very, very powerful. So we came in the first 8 minutes into this supply zone and immediately rejected back into this demand zone where we did bounce. Now keep in mind what the first 6 or 7 minutes of the market open looked like. A very strong morning push right into the supply zone, right? Now, at the time NQ was rallying into supply, this is where my mistake came into play, although it did work out in my favor. So I was watching Tesla. We had a very strong push last Thursday, some nice volume. Friday, it was kind of like calm before the storm. And then Monday, overnight, we were gapping up about 40 or so points. So it caught my interest as I knew the $1,000 level would have acted like a magnet. Keep in mind, this is on Monday. Overnight, we were holding VWAP like it was an intraday play. I love to see that. That means buyers are definitely interested. Buyers are factored in. And then when the market opened up, the first 1 minute, 2 minutes, we came back, pulled down into VWAP. And again, the same buyers showed interest. They were factored in. Now at that point, with that context, on a 1 minute chart, I saw NQ rallying right into that supply imbalance. Now my mistake is I never like longing an equity with such a strong supply imbalance on NQ, especially when Tesla is a very big NASDAQ stock. So that was my mistake on this, but I wanted to get long when we broke above pre-market highs, and at 9:33 I played Tesla calls at 25 bucks. So it looked like this. For those reasons, very simple analysis. Volume was pretty strong, as you could see it here. We had some heavy buying pressure, some nice volume building into the market, some nice candles, and I took it long right here at 9.56. My stop for this was below 9.53. I was risking about $3, and it was a scalp where I want to see it work out right away and move far away from my entry as soon as I do enter. However, 9.53 stop loss, 3 points. Now we're above all-time highs, so we have nothing to gauge any type of interest on. We don't have any supply imbalances. We don't have any resistance. So playing all-time highs, you specifically have to use my take profit strategy. There's a video in the course about that. Just taking profits into strength and maybe looking for intraday clues that sellers are stepping in. There's many ways to look at it. But because you're at all-time highs, it's very difficult to come up with a target. But because my risk was very small, I knew Tesla, if this did rally, I could have got at least 2 to 1, 3 to 1, even better. So now I'm in long. Stop is down here for that simple buying analysis. And now at this point, I'm watching NQ, and I'm not going to lie, I was very nervous. I was not confident in my analysis because this kind of goes against my edge. And I stress going with your edge for every single trade, but I don't like longing in equity when a market has supply right above. So at 9:33, as soon as I got long Tesla, this was coming into supply. I was being very cautious, but very fortunately, we got a quick push, about 12 points in my favor. And at 9:35 on this quick push, when I got about 10 points from my entry, I scaled out 75% of my position right here. So I'm in long down here. I scaled out my position into strength just because I have to play protective, seeing NQ come into supply. And then at the 9:36 candle, I see us reject it. This would have been a nice area to get short if you're playing QQQ. And then the next candle on 9:37, very strong push down. So I'm watching Tesla at this point, and I see an immediate stuff. This is what I mean about using intraday clues. If you don't have any upside targets, this was a sign of weakness, especially with some heavy selling pressure. The market moves down, and I get out the remaining of my contracts at 9:37 and then 9:38, the remaining 20%, a little bit above where I bought. So I made about 5 points or $5 per contract on Tesla. If you're trading 10 contracts, 20 contracts, that's $5,000, $10,000 in what? A 3-4 minute period. I posted my entry and exit fills in the Discord for members that want to go back. However, after I got out of Tesla, we absolutely rallied about another 100 or so points. Like I said from the pre-market plan, the Tesla, we didn't have a plan on it. Looking for intraday clues to get long, gapping up $40. Lots of interest in this name. $1,000 may be a magnet to price. So we did finally hit that $1,000. This gave multiple other areas to enter intraday. I did not, unfortunately, enter, but this provided some clean opportunities. But at the same time, Tesla bottomed, NQ hit demand. Now, at the same time NQ hit demand, ES hit demand. So when a lot of things line up like this and we get continuation, this is where you get your quality of setups. ES hit demand, very strong rally, past all-time highs, found new buying above the highs, and some nice continuation. I wish it was a little bigger of a move. Same analysis with NQ. Buyers factored in at demand. The sellers factored in at that supply. Buyers are putting pressure on sellers. When sellers get pressure put on them, they have to sell, they have to cover. And when they cover, that's going to fuel new buying, or that's going to fuel not new buying, that's just going to fuel buying. And as long as we do have new buying in the market, that's just going to sprout a bigger move to come into the market. So clean move off of that. Like I said, I wish there was a little higher volume on that, but it's very important to read the auction, gauge participants, understand the imbalances, understand volume, and just respect your risk, and you have a very, very serious edge. Amazon on Tuesday was a very big winner, October 26th. Again, very simple analysis. If you've been following me for a while, you all know my trading is very simplistic. There's nothing difficult about it. Just use price and volume and you know everything about the market as long as you don't let your emotions get involved. So I want to go over the pre-market plan. I said Amazon setup has potential. Yesterday we bounced right at the 3311, 3304 demand. As you could see down here, we had a nice clean bounce off of that imbalance. We also created new demand. We are gapping up $30, so that shows interest overnight. So not only did we bounce off of demand, we created new demand, and we are gapping up $30 overnight. So that's what the picture looked, as I posted my plan in the pre-market. Now we just need to have interest intraday. VVM is a gauge that I use to understand interest and participation in the market. Invest Trade members know exactly what I mean. VVM is key. So I said I'm watching for that and a break above 3360 to potentially play calls, targeting the 3400 supply. So very simple, above 3360 into 3400 supply, especially if NQ, if I pull up the NQ chart, is pretty strong. So this was also, all these levels were posted in the pre-market plan, but in the first 5-10 minutes, we had a very strong rally, actually invalidating this little supply imbalance. and we had nothing stopping us, from rallying into the one directly above us. So let me pull up Amazon here. Let's go to an intraday chart. I want to go to a 1 minute and show you exactly what I saw and why I played it. So here's the 3360 level. In the first 3 minutes, volume was definitely building. I saw it building. It really wasn't there yet. And it wasn't until we got above 3360 that I really caught my eye from the pre-market plan and I started getting interest. So at 9:34, I played the Amazon 3400 calls at $55. My stop for this trade was below 3360. So I was risking, if I entered right here, I was risking about $10, $12 by the time I entered to make potentially $30. So risk to reward was pretty decent, almost 3-to-1. Amazon premiums were very expensive. $55 a contract is pretty expensive, but we do have earnings on this name this week. And then the next candle, consolidation, and then boom, another strong push with volume. I will say if you didn't enter where I entered, this may have been another good entry. However, as we continue to move up, your risk to reward gets skewed, and you all know what I mean about skewed risk to reward. There's no benefit to that. There's no longevity. You cannot afford to lose as much with a smaller risk to reward. So I'm in this trade. The contracts are up at this point like 10 or so bucks, 8 or so bucks. I think they were at like $64. And we're 5 points away from supply. Figured let me hold on to this trade for a little more. Next candle, strong push into 3,400 supply. I get out my full position at $69 from a $55 entry. So I made $14 on the premiums. Yes, they are a little expensive, but $14 is a very good move in a 3-minute period. Very, very quick, very, very stress-free, very good risk to reward, very clean analysis, very simple. So we hit the supply zone. Yes, I left a little profits on the table. We pulled back a little bit. Just like that scenario with NQ yesterday where we pulled back from supply and then buyers are putting pressure on the sellers. Same thing happens here. We hit the higher supply zone and then we get a sell off from that. So if I go to a 5 minute, this is what it looked like. We hit the top supply and then sold off going into the afternoon session with NQ, because if we pull up the NQ chart, same exact thing happened here. We came into the supply zone. We failed at the top supply. We actually had a head and shoulders pattern. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And then we sold off from that. Let's see. Right into demand. Very weak buying rally from this demand zone. There was really no interest in trading this. And I love seeing stuff like this, especially from Amertitrade members. This is the result when you follow the process, you trust the plan, you trade your edge, and you understand the correct things about the market auction. This trader, $150 account, very, very small account, into $2,500 the past few days. You block out your emotions, you could get results like this. You follow your plan, you trust your process. $10,000 profit the past week on a $6,000 account. Biggest gain so far on Tesla. Another $3,500 profit from Tesla. $20,000 profit on Nvidia. This is not to brag about profits, it's just to show you how possible it is if you eliminate the noise and you trust yourself, you follow your process. These profits come when you follow the process. Second day, $391 profit. Proud of yourself, stuck to his plan, secured profits on the way up. No emotions, just reading price action and executing. Tesla move was very key. Followed his plan, no emotions. 100% glad he joined this group. That was a $300 profit on SPY. So I think I'm going to end the video on this point. There's no secret formula in trading. You have to put the work in. You have to respect your risk, and you have to learn the proper things about the auction and how the market facilitates trade. So I'm going to leave you all off on that note. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you really want to learn more, definitely check out the links in the description below. I offer a very in-depth and educational course that comes with access to the Discord at no extra cost. I also just added a voice chat feature. I've been trying to use it a little more in the Discord about when the market's developing and just going on voice chat instead of typing everything. But I'm going to end it. I'll see you all later. Peace.